It's a long night, it's a late night. So we don't have to go anywhere tomorrow. So we can stay here all night. So good night to the people of Anguilla in general and to the people of Road South in particular. It is indeed humbling to be standing here tonight as a candidate for the Anguilla United Movement. As you know, there have been two elected representatives for this district since the inception of our Constitution in 1976. And those were Mr. Maurice Connor and the Honorable Chief Minister Hubert Hughes.
Yeah.
I know there are many of you who have called me and spoken to me regarding the lies that were promulgated throughout this district over the last several months. And I do know that you would like me to respond to those lies, allegations, rumors, and nasty comments made by my political adversaries. But as disappointing as it may sound, ladies and gentlemen of Anguilla, I'm here tonight to speak about the record of the Anguilla United Movement. And my record as one who has been cast before in Anguilla's tourism park. There are many of you that said that we should not go back. But in order to remind us of where we are,
we have to go back.
Where we are going, we have to go back.
That's right.
I think it would be remiss of me if I first did not give a history of the position of the parliamentary secretary, because it has become an issue only because I am now in this room. From 1976 to 1988, there was no such position as a parliamentary secretary. If you have noticed, there have been 6 parliamentary secretaries in the history of Anguilla. The persons who have held this position has always been able and capable, and someone with whom the Chief Minister can trust. Someone who has the Chief Minister's back. And who would have the Chief Minister of Anguilla's back, the Honorable Hubert Hughes, better than I. I have his back. The first parliamentary secretary was Mr. David Carty, close cousin and confidant of the former Chief Minister, Sir Hon Haydn Hughes.
Yeah.
Reverend John A. Gums was the next parliamentary secretary and served from 1994 to 1999. The Honorable Walcott Richardson was Anguilla's 3rd parliamentary secretary and served for 11 months, followed in 2000 by Blowing Point Zone, Samuel Blues Connor. He served until 2005 and was followed by a split of the parliamentary secretary and a first nominated member's position. This year marked the first time in the history of the parliamentary secretary that an elected person was named the parliamentary secretary. That was the Honorable Albert Hughes, with Miss Dana Banks serving as the first nominated member and special advisor to Banks in the Ministry of Tourism. They all chose these parliamentary secretaries in the way they did because they needed someone, as I said before, they could trust. And given the fact that I carry with me almost 20 years of hospitality experience, starting as a landscaper, raking leaves in the tourism industry, watering plants, to one day being privileged enough to win a scholarship from the Caribbean Hotel Tourism Association to do studies at École Hotelier in Lausanne, Switzerland. After that, I spent weeks in France with Monsieur Albert Lake and one of my best friends, Oliver Jabot Thomas. We studied wines and the winemaking process, and then I did an internship at the Savoy in London, to eventually resigning from a very well-paid job at the end of 2007 as an executive at the Capsuluca Hotel. This resignation, ladies and gentlemen, came 3 years before the 2010 general elections because I thought that Anguilla was going in the wrong direction. At a time, we were inundated with a high number of Chinese and Indian migrant workers who came to our shows unchecked and threatened to destroy the fabric of our society. So I made the sacrifice and resigned from that job where I oversaw the day-to-day operations of security, beach and water sports, landscaping, villa operations. Which included the training of the staff in those departments and that of the housekeeping staff. The journey that has brought me to this spot at this time in our history is not one that was laid on a silver platter.
No, not at all.
To know where I came from as a person, one must look back. I was born on Wednesday, the 13th of October 1971. My birth paper says that I was born to a sailor named Hubert B. Hughes. And a teacher named Mrs. Norma Hughes. On the island of Barbados at the diagnostic clinic on Beckles Road in St. Michael. 4 days later, ladies and gentlemen, after my birth, my mother and I went back to her mother's house in St. Lucie at the far north of Barbados, where I lived in a small house with my Aunt Gretel, my cousin Sherry, my wonderful, loving grandmother, Hyacinth Ford, and my mother. While we lived there, we were frequently visited by my father, and I also got visits from Uncle Freddie and Mr. Harry Franklin soon after my birth. During this time, ladies and gentlemen, I was also visited by the legendary Captain Christy Connor and his son, Alec Connor, who still reside in this community. Give it up to Captain Christy. There until the 7th of April 1973. On that day, we departed Barbados and we arrived in Anguilla, and guess who? Leah. When we arrived, the immigration officer welcomed us heartily. That immigration officer was none other than Carmen Woods. Ladies and gentlemen, she is here tonight to verify that I'm indeed telling the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, the other side would like to brand me as a liar, but I challenge them to prove that I tell any lies whatsoever. I continue to challenge them to prove that I tell lies.
Nothing but the truth.
And to the other side who said tonight that I failed maths, but I got a PhD in lies, let him know that I didn't even do maths. I skipped the class and didn't attend the examination room. So you got it wrong there too. During this time, ladies and gentlemen, when I came to Anguilla, the custom officer that welcomed us was Mr. Kenneth Richardson, better known as Richie. It was on that very same day my Aunt Mary left the island for cancer treatment, a disease that later claimed her life. There were very few cars in Anguilla at the time, but we were picked up by Mr. Clement Daniel as my father was still in Barbados working on his boat.
Yes, sir.
We arrived in South Hill, where the road was nothing more than a wide dirt path that led all the way to West End.
Sure.
Our home was void of any of the modern amenities. There was no electricity, no running water. My mother too gave up a job in Barbados, where she worked for 11 years as a graduate teacher. Sacrifice, ladies and gentlemen. Sacrifice. It is in my DNA. So whether or not the chief minister wanted me to stay in the hotel, I thought that there was a bigger cause a bigger calling, and that was the calling to serve the masses of the people of Angola, and so I sacrificed. My mother left Barbados, an island with all the amenities, and brought me to Anguilla, where she now had no job, no one she knew, and now had to go down the street to a standpipe to collect water for daily use. Standpipes that was taken up by the Anguilla United Front. My farming friends today would have been able to have a great garden if that water was still available. But they put this country in such a mess with water that no one could afford water. And ladies and gentlemen, this gathering of water all of us had to do. And I too had to do so when I was old enough to carry the buckets, and later my brothers as well. We not only had to fetch water daily, but we had to tend a small flock of goats, weed the garden, and try to do our homework before the sunset, because as there was no electricity, the kerosene lamps would leave a pungent odor throughout the house. We got electricity when I was already in high school. We wore hand-me-downs, and things were not as they were today. Even though my father worked hard to ensure that we were as comfortable as possible, I can remember him broken his leg while pouring concrete and did not stop until the job was done. A broken leg, and that is a matter of
dedication, commitment.
Only when the job was done did he go to the hospital for treatment. It is obviously a different time in my life. But during that time I learned the value of hard work, and that has taken me through my life and to this point.
Still working.
While it is my father that ran and won the elections in 1976, the salary was just around $250 EC per month.
Sacrifice.
Even then, that was not a lot of money. Combined with my mother's salary of just over $300 EC a month, you will see that we were not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination. But my parents were willing to sacrifice and work hard. Ladies and gentlemen, while I know it is boring, I thought it necessary to speak to you about from whence I came.
That's good. Right.
I have two younger brothers. Their life story is similar to mine. Hard work, sacrifice, callous hands, and aching backs. Today, I am a father of 3 children of my own. My eldest being 8 years old, and my youngest just 22 months.
Still young, you're still young.
My wife too knows the value of working hard, and every day, wake-up time is even before the sun think about coming over the horizon and late into the evening. I know my brother Patrick, he always called me the janitor, because at 5:36 in the morning, he can see me with a mop cleaning bathrooms at the gym.
Hard work.
I have no ego. I'm not afraid to clean bathrooms and scrub floors.
Good. Oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen of Road South, we are here tonight to put aside all the rumors that were being promulgated around this country regarding my candidacy. Ladies and gentlemen of Blowing Point, South Hill, Rendezvous, Lockrum, Spring Pad, and Swing High, I am here tonight as a candidate of the Anguilla United Movement in this general election. My story can be shared and mirrored among many of you tonight. It is a story that was forged on setting of goals, hard work, and sacrifice. This is the only way one can be successful, and it is the only way a country can forge ahead. Vision, leadership, setting small realistic goals, and of course hard work to make the dream a realization. Tonight there was another candidate in Road North promulgating as an independent candidate. We all know he's a fronter. This former Minister of Government worked hard against your interests, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
It was more glaring when he sought to facilitate the closure of the dolphin discovery.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that dolphin discovery is ensuring that our ferry boat operators, taxi drivers, and others in this and other communities have a reliable income. By the end of this year, the business is expected to grow by some 60%.
Yeah.
That can only bode well for all sectors of the economy.
Yes.
And your government, this Anguilla United Movement government, ensured against one of its own ministers and a governor that has remained right here in Anguilla. I am here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because on February the 16th, 2010, I was sworn in as the 6th parliamentary secretary in Anguilla's history. When we came to office, 9 of the 10 projects that were signed under the former administration had collapsed or just did not start. And the remaining one, Barnes Bay Development, aka Viceroy, was in bankruptcy with a certain failure and an imminent failure ahead. We were able to rescue that. Civil servants was being paid late. Hundreds and hundreds of construction workers lost jobs. Local contractors that were owed by Flag was almost $4 million US, and more when you consider those that were owed by Astrom and other entities set up by that company. The island was in free fall. The government refused to let the people know the gravity of the situation. And on coming to office, we finally came to the realization, the stark realization, ladies and gentlemen, that this was no quick and easy fix.
Yeah.
Serious decisions needed to be made, especially given the fact that the British government was insisting that we laid off some 300 public servants, ladies and gentlemen. That in itself would have been catastrophic. Because it is not only those 300 civil servants, you know.
Domino effect.
It is also their dependents, their families, the domino effect on the entire economy would have imploded and collapsed this economy forever. And I want the people of Road South and the people of Anguilla, in particular the public servants of Anguilla, to give the Chief Minister, the Honorable Lord, because it was for his determination,
His vision too.
that every single civil servant in Anguilla retain their job. Ladies and gentlemen, our problems are not unique. Puerto Rico laid off over 15,000 public servants. The United Kingdom hundreds of thousands while raising taxes and cutting social programs. Other British overseas territories such as the Cayman Islands and Turks and Caicos face a similar plight. The Virgin Islands laid off hundreds. Barbados, 3,000 under pressure as we speak. Obviously, we were faced with some of the same issues that the president, the new president coming to office in 2008 in the United States, Barack Obama, was facing. A stressed banking system combined with all the factors that I listed above, plus tourism numbers that were in rapid decline. I can recall vividly the first question posed to me by the media on February the 16th after I was sworn in. It was posed by Wycliffe Richardson, and he asked, what will you do differently to give Anguilla more visibility and bring more tourists to the island? Having been an avid sportsman and a lover of music and the arts, I knew exactly what needed to be done. But I also needed the support of my colleagues in government, particularly the Honorable Chief Minister. I learned a lot in the past, from the production of a music video that was done back in my hospitality days by Nas, and later the Chattanooga hosted NBC's Destination Wedding. I saw how occupancies jumped in the aftermath of this show and music video. The tourism arrivals to Anguilla jumped from 120,788 in 2004 to 143,186 in 2005 to a height of 167,245 in 2006, only to fall off to a low of 112,115 in 2009 before we took office. It shows you that you have to remain relevant and visible in the marketplace. There are thousands of other destinations competing for the very same tourists, and we do not have the amenities such as jet skis, gaming and casinos, commercial transatlantic international airport, and citizenship programs to help us out. We have a competitive disadvantage, so we have to be creative in order to bring as many transient people to this island as possible, lest we lose out on our piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, while it is that some of the hotels have the capacity to market themselves, government must lead from the front and market the island as a whole. For too long, we have complained about our arrivals and visibility. For too long, we have done the same things over and over, expecting a different result, but that cannot happen. In order to increase our portion of the pie, we must be willing to step outside of the box. We must be willing to do things different. And we must be willing to do things even though you'll be criticized.
Yes, you have to be dedicated.
So in the face of criticism, ladies and gentlemen, I placed my bets, and they have reaped the rewards that we were looking for. We are not yet where we ought to be, but we are well on our way, because I am happy and proud to say that visitors to our shows have gone from 112,115 in 2009 to 151,303 in 2013, and thus far, an 11% increase this year over last. We are truly on the move. We are an upmarket destination, but we have over 100 restaurants here on island, and they need marketing too. Sedans, the Anguilla Great House, Paradise Cove, Fairboat Inn, La View, Air White, Meads Bay Villas, Frangipani, Karama, Lloyd's Guest House, and many other villas, guest houses, and small properties on island need marketing too. And so, I set out to reinstate and upgrade what was successful while trying new ideas, utilizing Anguilla's immense talent. We embarked on marketing Anguilla through television, social media, sports, music, combined with the traditional marketing efforts. I have gone out and spoken to many airline companies to ensure that Anguilla's airport is a viable entity. And there's much work to do where that is concerned. But today, we can now boast of multiple carriers out of San Juan that has interconnectivity with major US-based airlines. We are on the verge of increasing the same, and I'm happy and proud to be the one leading the charge where this is concerned. Since the closure of the Wild Lake International Airport and the subsequent investment of some $80 million in that facility, we saw a movement to the water taxis, ferries, and charter boats without the commensurate infrastructure. Our high-net tourists, visitors, and travelers had to endure a horrendous journey to and from St. Martin via the Simpson Bay Lagoon. We invested about $1 million EC in the St. Martin dock, a facility that should be named the Captain Christie, the Connor Dock. must have a vision. Because the opposition started to criticize me back then, and today, mom is the word. Not one word, they are saying. Because it has been proven to be profitable and a worthwhile investment, especially when you consider over 91% of our visitors come to Anguilla by ocean. And that is why we now have a small committee called the Blowing Point Port Restoration Committee, tasked with the redevelopment of the entry point of Anguilla. Ladies and gentlemen, we are truly on the move. When we came to office, the first thing I worked on was a Hello Tourist program. This program teaches our primary school youth the value of tourism, because even if you are unemployed or underemployed at this moment, we all benefit from tourism. And if we grow the pie, we will all benefit exponentially. With our support, every single year since we have come to office, we have sent no less than 4 high school students to the hospitality program in Miami to participate at the National Association of Black Hotel Owners and Operators Summit. They leave inspired to go on and do great things, and I have full confidence that this will be the case. There's no doubt that there's great leaders on the horizon here in Blowing Point, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to pay special attention to a young man from this village. He just graduated 6th form. And he's a young man that many of our young men, especially in this village, should aspire to. His name is Marlon Davis. Some time ago, he had to renew his leg, avid cyclist. Avid cyclist, a brilliant young man. And soon, he'll be off on his way to college, where he will become the next generation of hospitality managers, and I wish him luck. And you should all be this young man. Ladies and gentlemen, I was able to get the support of the ministers of government to embark on this plan of placing Anguilla's name in the living rooms across the world. How would this be accomplished? Because of my passion for sports, the arts and entertainment, and the knowledge that for too long I have seen much of our local talent wasted away. It was decided to use sports and the arts as a vehicle to achieve the same, while giving our local artists and sportsmen and women the best opportunity for growth of themselves and by extension Anguilla. The list of artists, beat makers, writers and local producers that I have worked with is long, but this vision is a shared vision. If one were to follow the story of Malcolm X, his mother was from Grenada, and even Christopher Wallace, aka B.I.G., one would see talented young men who everyone had given up on. Because I've seen the talent in those young men, like those before us, there are songs that are sung about me, such as Hidden Veil and Hidden Secrets and the like. And that is while others sit around at a casino table in St. Martin placing bets on chips, I have decided to place my bet on the Anna Muslim to do anything that he can do, and a real dream can become a reality. Ladies and gentlemen of Blowing Point, while others buy bikes for votes, I place my book bet on Dutchman Lake and the Parables because I'm truly a fan and believe in the mission. I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, while others promulgate lies and falsehoods, while using the young man's emotions to stir up hatred, I have placed my bets on BME. While others walk around the village talking about Greg Hughes and Brian Hughes and what job they are working on, while themselves getting construction jobs and refusing to hire the men of this community, I have placed my bets on career track and line. While others go around this village spreading all sorts of nasty rumors, I have placed my bets on the organic farmers of Anguilla, those who will change the way we eat and the way we think about food and genetically modified food here in this country. I have laid my chips down Brown, and I have placed them on Roxanne and Malia. These are the bets that I'm willing to make and the chances I'm willing to take, Blowing Point. Sometimes it will not happen as fast as we would like, but it will happen. With God's help, hard work and determination, it will happen. While others can charter boats so they can frolic with ladies of the night in St. Martin, I place my bet on a basketball court at a playing field in Blowing Point that will soon become. Ladies and gentlemen of Anguilla, while others make false promises of jobs in an office next to the Blowing Point Road gas station, I place my bets on Catriona Lake. While there are others who take concrete to use for votes, I place my bets on British dependency. While they criticize, ridicule, and malign and give out cash for votes, I place my bets on Raskin Brown and his musical gifts and talent. It is incumbent upon us that we lift our people up, not tear them down, and in so doing, we lift the country up. We are here to lift the least among us up, because sometimes there are those who need a push, who need a lifting up, not a handout. Not going around and sticking up $20 in their pocket and saying, listen, vote for me. You have to lift your people up, create opportunity, and since so doing, they can lift themselves up. There's a saying that I read many years ago. Give a man a fish, he will eat for a day.
In my line.
Teach him how to fish, he will eat for a lifetime. And we are here, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure that each and every one of you will eat for a lifetime. I have used this role, this position that I am in, to ensure that our people and our local artists get a chance to ensure the intellectual property is secured. Through a venture that I'm presently working on, local artists will be part of a compilation album of original music owned by them, that when it is sold and distributed, the royalties will come to them. This will create a financial nest egg for artists, while at the same time utilizing it as a marketing tool for Anguilla. My work with the arts and the local artists speaks for itself. They nowadays have me in all sorts of cartoons, call me the celebrity minister and all sorts of stuff. That's Syrian Cameroonian. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to say tonight, the best is yet to come.
Amen.
The best is yet to come, ladies and gentlemen. Because we have a team of able and capable men and a lovely and strong lady. And have the capabilities and capacities to lead this country and move this country forward. And so we will do. Another program that we are working on is a program called Build Anguilla. This program envisions bringing professionals from all walks of life and holding camps where our young people can learn firsthand the skills of modern architecture, modern farming techniques without using GMOs, the skills of modern architecture, songwriting, producing, entertainment contracts, sports management, and other hosts of skills that includes life skills. Other programs include an Anguillian cookbook featuring local chefs and their favorite dishes. We are going to have a template that we can show you at some point. Some of our young chefs such as Glendon Carty, Joya Gums, Dale Carty and Shane Hughes and many others will be featured in the same. We are here to take our people on the international stage. We are servants of the people, and to you, we owe a service. Very soon at our port of entry, we will celebrate those potent stars that Anguilla has nurtured, such as Olympic long jumper Miss Shara Proctor, Kathleen Connor, Anguilla's first and only test cricketer, Omari Banks, who has gone on to become a musical star in his own right. And the fastest man that Anguilla has ever produced, the fastest man that ever put on the track shoes at the Champs Championship in Jamaica, the fastest junior in the entire Caribbean, a Southern man, a man that was nurtured in this district, a man that is the son of Zonalini Banks and Magic Howell Hughes, Zonal Hughes. And he is here. He is here, ladies and gentlemen. And we had a ceremony that we had for him as arrival this week. Unfortunately, the flights were delayed and mixed up, and that was put off. But he knows he has the support of an entire nation. And very soon he'll be going to the World Junior Championships, and I know he will make this country proud and fly the flag of Anguilla. This is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's all about. We must take care of our elderly, but we must ensure that our young people can aspire to something great, and their talents are not just limited to Anguilla. We are small, but we are big on talent. And this road that I have and more so, this road that I have and more so, this road that I have and more so, as the next elected representative of World South, will ensure that our people in particular our young people's interests are served. They deserve nothing less. All that I do, ladies and gentlemen, all of love for Anguilla and love of the arts, sports, and my people. There's a saying that goes, a mind is a terrible thing to raise. I also believe that talent is a terrible, terrible thing to raise, and we cannot afford to raise our young talent to the streets.
Right.
As you know, the best boat, this is controversial. What I'm about to say tonight is controversial. Go ahead. What I will say, the best boat, the fastest boat, the most consistent boat in the water is the tree. There's so much that the tree symbolizes. It is a representation of roots of integrity, trunk of stability, branches of prosperity, and individual life, sustenance, and shade. So in closing, I want to remind you of what is important. If you want real representation in District 1, and that man is none other than the man they call the Poodle. The Honorable Evan Drum. In District number 5, Deaf Comedy Jam. The jokes are soon coming to an end as a new sheriff is about. A new sheriff is about to be deputized as the leader of that district. Vote Patrick Hanley, the three. In District 7, did I see all the District 7 people out tonight? It's good to have you in District 5 and District 6. So in District 7, I know the Chief Minister said in 1976, Otnell, Richardson, and he ran together in 1976.
Didn't know that. I learned something.
Otnell's daughter and Hubert Hughes' son is now running together. We are ensuring that there's proper representation, youth representation. We are ensuring that Anguilla's future is secured. And we have a lady that is ready, able and prepared to lead that district. And so, on election day, there's no other person that the vote invested in District Number 7 that the vote Christy Richardson Harriman. And finally, for arts and entertainment, BME. For music and sports development, for youth empowerment,